Hey, what's up you guys? Back to my channel. Today I'm reacting to HetaFacts 7 more dark Hetalia headcanons, and it was suggested to me by this one person right here. So guys, going into it, and remember guys, none counts to be showing that, as well as pre-recorded, and this video is much longer than usual, okay? Woo! Also be careful, there are some dark themes in this video. I forgot about that.
Hello my fellow Italians and welcome back to HetaFacts. And I've decided to do another dark headcanons video since you all loved the last one so much. I used some of the headcanons that I cut for time in the last one along with some other conspiracy theories that I had. I had a hard time looking for headcanons that I haven't already covered or that aren't confirmed. For example, it's confirmed that Hong Kong's relations with China are very crumbly and Hong Kong is on his last nerve. It is confirmed that Finland repeatedly drowned and froze to death after falling through a frozen lake. But here are some that are not exactly confirmed, but have maybe some merit to them. Some of these, I believe, some of these are just for fun. Remember, these are just headcanons and theories. So, time for me to put on my dark, eerie voice again, and let's get into the headcanons. The Norwegian famine of 1812. In the War of 1812, England set up a British naval blockade to prevent his enemies from getting supplies. Maria made a comic about it. At the end of the comic, we see Denmark upset that he can't get supplies such as food to Norway, and Norway telling him that he's fine and not to worry about him. Norway has done this in the past where he tells Denmark not to worry about him, but is actually living in poor conditions to the point where Denmark feels guilty about it. This habit of Norway assuring things are okay when they aren't has led to a lot of rough hardships for Norway, resulting in Denmark feeling bad that he can't do anything or couldn't do anything sooner. One such incident was the severe famine that resulted from this embargo that lasted for 2 years. Since the British Navy blocked all Norwegian ports and all communication between the two were severed, Denmark couldn't get supplies to Norway for help. So Norway had to suffer for 2 years as a result of this famine. Then Sweden decided that now was the time to attempt to take Norway, as he had recently lost Finland, leading to more troubles and a war. Long story short, Denmark lost Norway to Sweden, and Norway was a part of Sweden until gaining his independence in the early 20th century, never to return to Denmark again. As this comic implies, Denmark and Norway are not very happy with England as a result of this, and this is something that Denmark still beats himself up about to this day.
Oh my god.
New Zealand's resentment towards his brother.
Terrible.
Because England pretty much dumped the responsibility of Australia on New Zealand had to take care of Australia while he was still young. You see it in this comic, and New Zealand doesn't look too happy about it. I mean, just look at child Australia. England can't him. How well do you think a young New Zealand can? But yet, New Zealand holds respect towards England still. However, it is said that New Zealand and Australia still have a rivalry in Hetalia, and this is shown when they interact. While part of it is probably because they're brothers and are in the same area, I think New Zealand resents Australia for the childhood he missed out on, as a result of having to look after him and keep him out of trouble. He hides this resentment, of course, showing it through the rivalry, but it does eat away at him. The Baltics during World War II. During World War II, the Baltics were considered part of the bloodlands, or the lands between the Nazis and the Soviets, and suffered a lot of bloodshed from both sides. Most nations in this position wanted to be neutral, or hated both sides, but many, in desperation to get away from the Soviets, saw the Nazis as liberators at first. Some villages in Ukraine even welcomed them with baskets of bread. That is, until the Nazis began killing them too. Then people were sick of both. It could be argued that the Baltics didn't really have a side during World War II. However, there is a comic that could allude to who the Baltics sided with. From here we can see that Latvia definitely wants to side with Germany. The other two seem unsure. Eventually, they all declare neutrality, but then Russia punishes Latvia for choosing Germany over him. Judging by this comic and the characters' personalities and histories at this point, I would say that Latvia instantly joined the Nazis. Estonia, in fear of Russia's wrath and being punished, stayed on Russia's side, and Lithuania, in desperation to get away, due to their high cooperation rates, joined the Nazis at first, but later had a change of heart and returned to Russia near the end of the war. He probably would have claimed, "Oh, I was on the right side the whole time. I was just spying." I infer this due to Lithuania's high level of cooperation with the Nazis, but in this comic, he looks unsure which side to take. But I would imagine that this most certainly would explain the relations with Poland
This is just
even more.
freaking crazy, bro. Oh my god.
Russia is in the closet. Throughout the series, we have seen many characters mention their affinity for women, their attraction for women, or their habits with women, even minor characters. However, as frequently as he appears, we have never seen this in Russia. He never talks about women unless it's something about his sisters. China mentions cute anime girls every now and then. America talks about adding sexy women to his films and products. Denmark even talks about his habits with women. Even in Gaku and Hetalia, Russia only appears when Seychelles asks him where the dorm is, and nothing happens between them. While we don't know what happens in the DS version since a lot of that has yet to be translated, I think that Russia is either denying his sexuality or is in the closet and hiding it, especially during these times. Even during the atheistic Soviet Union, homosexuality was seen as a mental disorder, even though it was decriminalized in the 1920s. It was recriminalized under Stalin and remained that way until the fall of the Soviet Union. Russia has been known for a series of bad bosses, so until things change, Russia is going to have to hide this huge part of him. Prussia is inbred. In the private concert strip, you know, the one where everyone thought that Prussia was going to die, it is revealed that Prussia's wounds take a long time to heal. While some believe this is evidence that he is fading away, there is a much more likely explanation. Prussia has hemophilia. Hemophilia is when the blood is unable to clot, which results in wounds taking a long time to heal, bruising easily, and an increased risk of internal bleeding. Hemophilia was incredibly common among European royalty and was often called the royals' disease.
This is crazy.
It is said that this condition came about due to all the incest and inbreeding that took place within these royal families. So this may allude to Prussia not only having a royal bloodline, but being inbred. Although it's the Austrian nobles who are most famous for inbreeding, and it seems that Austria suffered some negative effects too. He is noted to be delicate and tires easily, and being physically weak despite being born to fight. No matter how much these two rival each other, in the end, they're just two squabbling inbred cousins. Russia's tradition of bondage. The Italian horror show was a very insightful minigame that Maria made. I'll link the translations in the description below so you can read it. Basically, it is set in the Gaku and Hetalia universe, and the main character, Bulgaria, is supposed to take place at Romania's club that he has to go to, and in this club he has to listen to a bunch of nations' horror stories. Here we learned some interesting information about a bunch of other nations. Anyways, let us direct our attention to the bad ending when Bulgaria decides to stop Russia from making everyone become one with him through a magic potion. In the good ending, it is all a plot for a movie that America is sharing with Russia, but in the bad ending, it is very different. When Bulgaria says he wants to protect everyone, Russia says, "Are you saying that you'll take their place instead? Alright, if it means that, I'll stop for today." By take their place, this has meant that Russia was going to do this to Finland, America, England, Spain, Germany, and Japan, what he did to Bulgaria in this upcoming scene. Russia stops and lets everyone else go, everyone goes home, and then this happens.
What the smell. I'm so comfortable right now. Oh my god! What the? Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this? What's it?
Let's
Oh my
analyze
god.
that scene, shall we? This means that Russia was
Sure.
introduced to Finland, America, Spain, England, Germany, and Japan. Now that line really stands out to me. If it means what I think it means, Russia usually dominates people and puts them in this position. It shows just how really messed up Russia is. He says that someone is always in this position. So who was in this position before Bulgaria was now? Let's take a guess. More likely than not, it was Lithuania. Lithuania does not act the way he does around Russia, around anyone else. After all, seeing what happened in the While You Were Gone strip, and judging by the potential whipping sounds in the background, it could be easy to assume that Lithuania was the previous person in this position. What about after Lithuania left the Soviet Union? Who is Russia's bondage buddy today? I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that I know who it is. Latvia is the one Baltic that still hangs out with Russia today and just can't seem to get away from his influence. The last Baltic to leave the USSR, the only Baltic too afraid to get rid of any of his Soviet things, the only Baltic to go through a blizzard to get to Russia's house on his birthday. A blizzard that Belarus couldn't even get through. The Baltic that can drink the most and has the highest alcohol tolerance. It all makes sense, but maybe there's a slight possibility that Latvia doesn't want to get away. Perhaps this is a symptom of Stockholm Syndrome. Anyways, we have more to analyze.
That is possible.
But when Russia says tradition, he may be implying that something like this may have happened to him when he was younger. When he says he has no clue, Maria may be implying that the memory was so horrible that he tried to repress it. But I've learned from my science that real traumatic events don't get repressed. Instead, it's the opposite. They're impossible to forget about, thus causing PTSD. If something like that happened to Russia in his past, most likely his childhood, then it would be totally understandable why he acts the way he does. Perhaps the way he tortures his victims is a reference to gulags, or how Russian prisoner of war camps were historically known to be incredibly brutal. Overall, this scene shows us that Russia has a tradition of tying people up naked and possibly torturing them, and this tradition may have come from someone else doing it to him in his past. This takes the whole Russia is in the closet theory to a whole new level. Perhaps this is
no!
Or maybe, just like all his other cruel games, Russia thinks that this is totally normal and doesn't know any better. But of course, these are just some theories and headcanons. Let me know what you think about them and if you want me to do another video like this. But until then, that was 1 mark higher on your history test. Thank you for watching HetaFacts. Before I end this video, I would like to shout out some lovely people. Lovell12 and Ghost the Dog are both doing Let's Plays of Russification Roulette. Both of them are doing 2 completely separate routes, so I highly recommend that you check out their videos. They are criminally undersubscribed. And another person that is criminally undersubscribed is Kazujiro, who has been playing a game that I completely forgot about, Russia's Friendship Quest, which I made for like a game jam. So definitely check out his videos as well. The links will be in the descriptions below.
Wow. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, if you like to subscribe and anything you want me to do, please comment below what you guys got to say. As well, if you want me to write any of those people's videos that she has shouted out, please tell me as well. Love you guys so much. I'll see you guys again on Friday with something more Hetalia. It'll be a song, so it'll kind of make up for this creepy video right here. Love you guys. Bye!